Kevin Sampson, Picture Lock. I'm here with Jan Selby, the director of Beyond the Divide. Jan, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So the first question is, could you just tell us a little bit about the film, and we can go from there?
Okay, sure. Well, Beyond the Divide is a feature-length documentary about forgiveness and finding common ground. The main characters are Dan Gallagher, who you'll be interviewing, and he's here with me at the GI Film Festival. He is a Vietnam veteran, and the other main character is Betsy Mulligan Day. She's the executive director of the Jeanette Rankin Peace Center in Missoula, and it's a story about the two of them finding a way to heal old wounds, and it's really about, if we really focus on what we have in common as opposed to what we have that divides us, we're going to be a lot better off, and miracles can happen.
Yeah, definitely. One of the questions I think is just, how did you come across the material, and how did the material speak to you to make you want to direct the film?
Wow, so this is my first feature film.
Okay.
And I came to filmmaking because it felt like a calling, and changed careers only about 8 years ago. And so I had my first film, it's called A Circle in Three Lines, and it's a short about the history of the peace symbol, premiere at the Big Sky Documentary Film Festival in 2010. And when I was there, I heard about this large graffiti peace symbol that had been overlooking Missoula, Montana from 1983 to 2001, and how it divided the town, and it came down in pieces, and you could still see the pieces around town. And that story really intrigued me because I was motivated to make a film that could be used to really get people to think about the value of listening with compassion to each other, kind of a conflict resolution or peace studies type film.
Right.
While I was making the film, I met Dan and I met Betsy, and they are both pretty amazing people. And I thought I was done making the film. It was a cool story about 3 different perspectives. The phone company who owned this telecommunications panel that the peace symbol was on, painted on, the graffiti one.
Right.
And then Dan and Betsy with different points of view. And then I was almost done making the film, and one day Dan called me and said, I'm thinking about inviting Betsy to come into a radio studio with me and do something on Montana Public Radio about peace and if we have any common ground. So basically I said, you can't do that without a camera in the room. And I realized that the story was evolving and some really amazing things were happening. So I decided to still follow the story for a year. And one of the things I love about documentary filmmaking is many times you think you're making a story about one thing, and then you end up making a story, and usually a better story, about something else, or it's changed.
Right.
And that totally happened. This film would not be as powerful if it wasn't for what happened in that final year and being able to capture that.
Yeah, I too find it amazing with documentaries. You set out to make a film about X, but then the film tells you, no, this film is actually about,
Totally, yeah.
And I love how you boiled it down to, it's a film about forgiveness, and I can't wait to check it out. How has the feedback been so far with the film?
It's been wonderful. What really motivates me is to create a film that makes a difference in the world. I want to leave the world a better place from where I found it in my tiny little way that I can. And so I've been at film festivals with the film for about a year, and now looking at ways to distribute it. It can be brought to anyone's community, and we have a way on the website to learn about that through TUG, and TUG is a distribution partner that allows the film to be brought to any theater or even a community center, and DVDs also are available. But it's really inspiring communities to come together, to open up conversations, and to really get people to have a commitment to listening with compassion as a way to find common ground. So it's been shown in high schools, Veterans for Peace chapters have sponsored it, peace centers, American Legion chapters. The public TV station in Minnesota is going to be showing it. So we're just at the very beginning of exploring all the many ways that it can get out there.
That's awesome. So how can people get in contact with you, or at least catch the film, get in contact to see the film?
Thank you for asking. So the website is beyondthedividefilm.com, and there's a lot to see there. People can sign up for the email list, and we have a Facebook page also to see what's happening. Right now, the best way to see the film would be to watch the trailer and bring it to your community, or have schools. There, in a month, there'll be an announcement of a way to bring it to schools through Tug. That is very exciting. And so we have some a 1-hour version that is ready that might be appropriate for some environments. We have an educator's guide that's being developed, some additional multimedia that could be used. I really have found that anywhere from high school students to any age would really find this valuable. I've had veterans tell me that it's been very healing, not just Vietnam veterans, but also I've had someone who was against the Vietnam War come up and say that I've been trying for decades to find a way to bridge a divide that's been between me and my brother, for example, or me and my father-in-law, and I've struggled with that, and this film has given me a way to be able to feel like I can heal some of the divides in my own family. So I just hope it makes a difference in people's lives. You know?
Awesome. I gotta geek out for a second. So,
Please.
As a filmmaker, what does it feel like to go from an idea to actually having a product that's making a difference like that in someone's life?
It's kind of beyond words, because I think as a filmmaker, you have a vision,
Right.
and you have to hold that vision through so many obstacles. Raising money is hard. You get turned down for grants. You get some, but you get rejected more than you get, just because of the numbers of people who are applying for things. You even film festivals, you know, you get rejected from some, you get accepted to some, and I think holding the vision is really hard. But what happens is, as you get from one stage to another, enough positive things happen that make you realize again and again that you're the one who, your job is to hold that vision, and that you need to just do everything you can to make it happen. And so this film I started in 2010, and I finished it in 2014. So took 4 years, and now it's been 5 years, and I still watch it. This sounds funny, but watch it with awe, because I sometimes can't believe that it really happened.
Yeah.
You know, I am humbled by it. I am inspired by it, and it's made me a better person. I think maybe more courageous, and maybe more used to knowing that rejection doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. You just have to hold on.
Right. Well, here's to sticking to the vision. Thank you so much for coming on this show.
I appreciate it.
I'm gonna hold my hand right here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you. You know, I'm looking at you, right?
I know, right?
Okay.
All right, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.